Hello, my name is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be doing a full face, mostly. Testing the brand L.O.V. So I saw this brand on Just My Look a while ago, which is like the website where you can get like Catrice and stuff in the UK. And I noticed this brand and I mean, they're quite affordable. Some of their products are a bit more pricey, but I feel like a lot of them were quite cheap, and also a lot of the ones that I got for this video were like discounted. I just kind of wanted to try some products from this brand, see if it's any good. I've not really heard like much about it at all really. I have no idea like if it's international or what countries it's available in, but if you're in the UK you can get it on Just My Look. I've not got everything for a full face, but I've got most of the products. I've got highlighter, I've got eyeshadow, I've got blush, I've got concealer, I've got eyebrow products, I've got mascara, I've got a setting powder. So yeah, I've got like a decent amount of products. So I guess I'll start with the concealer. So this is the L.O.V Camouflage Concealer Cream. And on Just My Look, this has like about 5 or 6 shades, which is not great really at all. We can definitely use some improvements with that. I got the light shade, which is 010 Alabaster, and I did look at this before and it does seem a little bit dark, to be honest. That's what the colour looks like. It's like a little bit orangey. We'll see how it translates onto the face, but yeah, the shade range definitely needs a lot of improvements. See, I feel like it does come out a bit lighter when you like stick your finger in it. Okay, so I'm going to test this concealer out in my eye area, as I always like to do in these videos, just to see what the coverage is like on bare skin. I don't actually have a foundation. They didn't have one on Just My Look. I don't know if they don't make one full stop or if they just didn't have it on Just My Look. So I probably will just end up using the concealer as my base anyway. But I'm going to test this out on one eye, so I can compare it with no concealer. So let's put it under my eye and on my eyelid. Okay, that's actually pretty good coverage. So let's get both my eyes in the frame here. I'm going to look up. I'm going to look down. That's actually pretty good coverage. Is it full coverage? I feel like, yeah. I feel like it is full coverage, to be honest. Like, I feel like I can't see my bag. I can't really see my veins. Maybe like ever so slightly I can see them. So, yeah, that's pretty good coverage. I feel like the finish of it is like a little bit oilier than what I personally like for concealer, but it's not super duper oily. I've definitely had like way oilier ones than this, but I would prefer it to be a little bit more like semi-matte or matte looking. So I'm going to put some more of this concealer on my other eyelid to make a base for eyeshadow. Okay, so I've set that down with some powder, so I've got a base for eyeshadow. The eyeshadow palette we have is this one here. It's the L.O.V Dare to Dare eyeshadow palette. So they had like 3 different colour versions of these big palettes. It's got a massive mirror in it, and this is what the colour scheme looks like. So it is a lot of neutrals, but you've obviously got a few blues, a bright gold in there. I would say it's quite a shimmer heavy palette. There are obviously some mattes in there, but it's definitely very shimmer heavy, I would say. It does still look very pretty though. So I do like to do one eye off camera, so I will be back with one eye done. Okay, so we're back. I decided to go with the blues, so let's do it all again. Okay, so I'm starting with this light brown matte shade called Bold at the top. It's a bit of a weird name because it's not really a bold colour, is it? And I'm just putting a bit of that above the crease. And then I'm using Independent, which is just a darker brown shade. This one here. And that's going underneath. Then I used the black shade called Outrageous, this one here, but then I sort of decided to use the darker blue called Adventurous as well. So I'm just going to tap them both together and put that in the outer third. Then I'm going back to the concealer and I'm going to do a cut crease. Okay, so in the outer third of that cut crease, I'm going to put darker blue shimmer called Ignite. Okay, and in the centre I'm going to put the bright blue, which is called Unforgiving. Okay, and in the inner corner I'm going to put this sort of like greeny bluey colour called Surprising. Now I'm just going to do a bit more blending with the matte shades. And I'm going to use the white shimmer called Strong, this one here, and put that under the brow bone. Okay, I'm just going to put a bit of black eyeliner in my waterline. I don't have one from the brand. Okay, so the next product I have is the L.O.V Sculpting Volume Mascara. Now, I believe that this is like originally priced at like $16.99, which is pretty damn expensive for a mascara, but when I got it, it was like £3.95, which is like a massive discount. The reviews on the website were good though, so let's give it a go. That's the type of one that's got. So I'm just going to apply this to my top eyelashes. Okay, so that's what the eyelashes look like. I would say I'm actually quite impressed with that mascara. I do feel like it does need quite a bit of building, but then like once you get there, it looks pretty good. I think the volume's actually pretty good, the length's pretty good. I feel like it's got a bit of like a kind of like wispy sort of curled look to it. I actually think that's a pretty good mascara. I quite like that. Okay, so let's go on to base. So as I said, I don't have a foundation, so I think I will just use the concealer as a base. Might as well. I do that a lot anyway. So again, obviously the colour isn't perfect. It's just like got this quite strong orangey tone to it, which I'm not a fan of. Like it is obviously like definitely pale. Just got some orange going on in there. So I'm just going to apply this kind of all over. Sort of use it as a kind of foundation, I guess. So I have just cleaned my sponge so it is damp now because I managed to get eyeshadow all over it. So that might sheer out the coverage a bit. Okay, so I do have a setting powder from them. This is the Perfectitude Shine Control Loose Powder. It's quite small, it's quite tiny, and it has got like a very strong pink tint to it, so hopefully it doesn't make me pink. One of those that's got like a sponge on the lid. It does annoy me that there's like nothing to actually tap your powder into, because I'm not really going to use that sponge. I've just tapped it into the lid of my concealer for now. Okay, so I'm going to tap out all my creases, and I'm going to attempt to use this pink powder to settle that concealer down. The concealer definitely does have more of an oily finish, so we're going to need some mattifying here. I'm not really sure what to think of that powder really. I mean, it's mattified pretty well. Not noticing any patchiness. I don't think it has the most flawless finish in the skin. It's not giving me a pink tint though, so that's good. Yeah, I mean I don't dislike it, but it just kind of strikes me as a bit average at the moment, but I will keep trying it with different bases and stuff. It's not bad, like I don't feel like it looks horrible on my skin or anything. So they did have a bronzer, but it was a bronzer that only came in one shade, and I just wasn't convinced that it would be light enough. I mean, one shade of bronzer is not good for everybody. So I'm just going to use this Revlon Skin Lights bronzer. Okay, so we have got a highlighter. So this is the Love Illusion Holographic Highlighter Palette. And that is what the shades look like. Very pale ones. So I'm not as into like holographic as I used to be, but more so like the kind of like bluey purple ones. These all look like quite pale, so we'll see how it works. So I'm going to start with the iridescent pink one, which is the one at the top here, and I'll just put that on one cheekbone to start with. I mean, it's definitely a very strong pink. Let's try the Opalescent Green on the other cheekbone. I do feel like that one is a bit more pigmented, but damn, that is very, very greeny, very like greeny goldy colour. So let's try Peach Prism on my nose, Cupid's bow and chin. I mean, it's still like holographic, but I feel like the peach one is probably the most like natural colour out of all of them. And again, the quality is pretty good, good pigmentation. I think I'm just going to layer up the Peach Prism one over all of it. Yeah, I'm not obsessed with this highlighter palette, mainly because of the shades. I do think the quality is like pretty decent, like it's got good pigmentation and it's got like quite like a soft velvety sort of texture to it, which is nice. I'm pretty sure it was like the only highlight product that they had, so I didn't really have a lot to choose from. But I like it, but I'm not obsessed with this palette. Mainly because of the colours, not the formula. I did also get a blush from them, so this is the Blushment Blurring Blush, and it's in the shade Beautiful Minds and Power Was Ever. And it's sort of like a kind of mauvey cool toned blush. So I'm just going to pop this on my cheeks. Ooh, it doesn't seem too pigmented, which is good. I prefer blushes that are a little less pigmented, more buildable. That's really nice. Not really got much bad to say about that blush. That's pretty. So I have got an eyebrow product from them. This is their Browtitude 2-in-1 Brow Tint and Filler Gel. So it's got a tint on one end and then a gel on one end. So the tint is like a sort of painty on sort of thing. Then we've also got a gel, and I like the size of that spoolie. So I'm probably just going to ignore the tint for now. I probably will give it a go at some point, but I'm just going to wipe the excess off this. Hopefully there's not too much on there. And then I'm going to fill in my brows with this gel. Okay, a little bit of excess, but not a lot. I've had ones that have way more on them than that. So let's see what this is like. I'm just going to brush this through both my brows. Okay, that's actually not too bad. I feel like it's fairly natural, not too much. I don't dislike that gel. I do feel like I need a micro brow pencil with that though, just to give it a bit more structure. So I'm just going to use my XX Revolution one. Okay, so let's finish off the eyeshadow. I'm going to use a bit more of Strong, the white shimmer, and put that in my inner corners. Okay, that white shade is insane in the inner corner. I'm going to use Independent again and put that under the lower lash line. I'm going to get a bit of Adventurous and press that closer to the lash line. Okay, and I'm going to add some more mascara to my bottom lashes. Okay, so I don't have a lip product from them, so that's everything. So I'm just going to sort my hair out and I'll be back. Okay, so we are back with the finished makeup. Okay, so overall, thoughts on the products. So the eyeshadow palette I would say I'm very impressed with. I think all of the shades performed really well. I think the blue shimmers are stunning. I think the mattes I used worked well. They blended well. The only kind of criticism I have of that palette is it's quite shimmer heavy. I do wish there was a bit more mattes in it. I do think the quality of all the eyeshadows was good, and I can't wait to play around with that some more. I'm going to try and get as many looks as I can with it. I'm quite impressed with the mascara actually. I do really like the effect of it. It is like one of those mascaras where you do have to build it quite a bit, but then once you get there I do think it's pretty volumizing, pretty thickening, pretty lengthening. It kind of has everything going for it, and it's not clumpy, it looks kind of wispy. So yeah, I actually do really like that mascara. The concealer I like the coverage of. I'm impressed with the coverage. I do feel like it's a little bit oilier than what I personally like in a concealer, but I think it's an okay product. But again, I just wish it was like a little bit less oily, but the coverage I like. The blush is really nice. The highlighter palette I think is good quality, but I'm just not sure if I'm mad about the shades. I think the peach one is the one I'll probably get the most use out of, but they are just quite like out there holographic shades. So again, it just depends if that's what you're into. I think the eyebrow gel is actually pretty good. I quite like that. And I think that's everything. So yeah, I think overall I would say I'm definitely pretty impressed with the products. I feel like the majority of them that I used I feel were good quality, definitely. So I am actually glad that I did pick up some products from this brand. I'm very excited to keep trying them, especially the eyeshadow palette. really can't wait to play around with that, although I've got a lot of eyeshadow palettes in my rotation at the moment that I need to get as many looks with as I can. So all of these products I will do an updated makeup review on. That will be my June/July one, and god, it's going to be a big one because I've done so many videos with products that are going to be in that June/July makeup recap. I forgot to mention the powder. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of average. I don't feel like it's done anything bad to my base makeup, but I'm not like obsessed with it. But again, I will need to keep trying it with different bases. Overall, I would recommend giving this brand a try. I think there were some pretty good products there. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.